Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Hairy Muppet. I'm going absolutely nuts casting today. I've cast all for the map season 3 map pool analysis games. This is my third daily masters I've cast for today. Look, my plan is to do 2 games a day for my week when I got annual leave. That I have annual leave, and I didn't do any yesterday. I sort of just zonked out on this, like whatever. So I didn't do any. So I'm going to try and do 4 today. This is my third, and I'm starting to feel it, man. I'm starting to feel like, well, you know, my thing is, if I feel like I could probably cast, then I probably should cast, because there's so much time where I just feel like tired, like, I don't know, I get tired at the weirdest times, like 2 in the afternoon, I'm falling asleep. I'm like, what? But it's only when I'm casting. If I'm not casting, I'm fine. But as soon as I start casting, I start yawning, and it's nuts. I can feel it start to creep up now, so I'm going to try and get this one done, maybe get a 4th one done, and that'll set me done. But then again, maybe I'll do 2 tomorrow instead. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, let's check it out. Up the top right side of the map, top left side of the map, sorry, it is Mr. Alicia, and he is 26 years of age from South Korea, plays for Team Axiom. And yes, one of our very, very awesome Protoss players that we see now and again, going for a fast expansion before a gateway, which is very, very interesting. And he's actually got 2 pylons here, so looking to get a ton of workers out extremely fast. Oh, it's not quite timed the pylons, but there we go, it's close enough. Yeah, it was only like 3 seconds to a supply block, so we can't have too much of a go at him. This guy is going to be supply blocked for quite a while. Well, but he's probably going for a 3rd base as well. He's saving all that up for a 3rd base, so I can forgive him. If he's saving it all up for Queens, then man, he is saving it all up for Queens. That was a bit of a supply cap, I gotta say then. Quite a bit. Yeah, so his name is Mr. Revival, and since we've finished bagging him now for getting supply capped, we can formally introduce him. 22 years of age from South Korea, sponsored by CM Storm. I think they sponsor Polt as well. Is the guy who's always sponsored by CM Storm, so yeah, very nice, very nice. Yeah. I don't actually know what the difference is between a sponsor and a team, because I mean, if you're a part of a team, then you're sponsored by that team, and the team pays for stuff. So I guess the sponsor is sort of the same as a team, except I think you can be sponsored by multiple people. Whereas if you're in a team, you're part of that team, but if you're sponsored, they just give you money and just like, yeah, whatever, do whatever the hell you want. It's all good. And yeah, obviously you can't go as part of like team games or something like Revival. I don't think you can pair up with Polt and do like a CM Storm team or something like that, like a team tournament or something. But regardless, we got some funny stuff going on here. We've got a Twilight Council coming down, which may or may not be for Zealot Legs and may or may not be for Blink, but Blink against Zerg, yeah, it doesn't really have its uses too much. I mean, Blink against Terran even doesn't really have its uses. It's mainly against Protoss early game that Blink starts to be a very, very nice option. So my guess would be he's probably going for like a Templar Archives or something like that. Maybe even Dark Shrine, but that's very, very cheesy, so I don't know if he's going to go for that. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. And of course, Zealot Legs is always an option, but I mean, it's not super, super, super important early game. It's nice to have, very nice to have later on in the game, but early game, it's not like a Dark Shrine is like, yes, suddenly I went from having, you know, good stuff to having completely awesome stuff. Zealot Legs doesn't do that. It doesn't make you completely awesome in half a second like a Dark Shrine does. But it does help. Over the long term, it's very, very effective over a number of engagements. Whereas the Dark Shrine is just like, it's good for a specific number of engagements, but long term it's just like, what the hell am I going to use DTs for other than building Archons, which Archons were okay. So we do have a Dark Shrine coming down. The Lings are not going to get in. They are going to kill this thing though, and the sentry needs to get off its fat ass and start defending that. Dark Shrine up here somewhere, as well as a forge, which is nice. We got a pylon here, we got a pylon here. So Alicia looking to run a whole bunch of DTs in here. Very, very soon. We've got spores here, we got spores there, we got spores there. He's worried about anti-air. He should be worried about DTs. So maybe there's a spore crawler out here, but DTs should be able to do some fun stuff early on. Ooh, 3rd base. Very early for Mr. Alicia going for the 3rd base. Obviously feels like he's going to be, well, these pylons are about to be taken out though. Here we go, something warping in. And the DT is coming out. So the Lings are already going to actually attack that pylon. But the DT is coming in here. And there's nothing that can really attack without getting in range of the Spore Crawler. So, oh, did attack it right there. And the cat is out of the bag right there. We got an Overseer coming out. The Overseer was already coming out actually. So Overseer was coming out for scouting purposes. Now he needs another one for defensive purposes, because that DT is just going to be all sorts of bad news. He's actually made it all the way back into the main base where there is a Spore Crawler, so he's going to be fine. Needs to start attacking some stuff because the DTs haven't really been doing a lot yet. Not all that good, actually. So Alicia with the DT play didn't really work out. Needs to start thinking of something else. We got the robotics facility on the way. Got a couple more gateways. Third base, the early third base is going to be very, very nice for Alicia. If he can keep a hold of it, it's going to allow him to just build out a ton of forces. We're going to see a ton of Zealots, we're going to see a ton of Stalkers, Colossus, Immortals, whatever the hell he needs. Roaches are going to be a force that is coming out soon. 13 Roaches on the way, so Immortals would be sensational. But he needs to get that scouting intel out, because if 13 Roaches just rock up right in his door right now, he might have a bit of problems dealing with them. So he needs to start building some Immortals right the hell now. I guess he's got to build at least one, just for safety's sake. But then, again, I don't know. There we go. Immortal coming out. Great job. Does he know? There we go. He's chrono boosting the Immortal out, so he does have some sort of idea. And the Phoenix coming out. The Roaches coming out. That's a very, very decent amount of Roaches that got out very, very fast. The DT making a run for it. Go DT. But Roaches are sort of skewing off, and here it is, Alicia's fast third base. Is it going to be just as fast destroyed as it was created? I do not know. Alicia, the Immortal, is just about to be finished. Going to hold up the Lings. The Roaches, I'm not so sure about. These putting some force fields out, cutting off some of them. Very, very nice with the Roaches coming around the side, getting in there. Alicia's doing a very good job holding off right now. The force fields are very, very nice. Waiting on the Immortal. Where is this bloody Immortal? Please tell me it's coming out. It's trapped. It can't get out behind the Zealot. Oh man, Alicia, get your forces out there. Get your Immortal out there. What are you doing? Oh man, there we go. It's finally coming out. That gave me a little bit of a heart attack when that guy wasn't coming out, but he's finally got the Immortal out. He's building another one. He's chrono boosting it. No, I don't know what he's chrono boosting some upgrades, so that's good. Level 2 weapons just about to finish, so he definitely knows how to use his Stalkers, how to use his Immortals, and that is just going to be absolutely destroying a whole bunch of units. The Roaches are going to come around, and yeah, they're going to get absolutely owned by those Immortals, especially with level 2 upgrades. It's just phenomenal. We do have Swarm Host coming out, which is, yeah, is going to be interesting. I'm not going to say sucky because Swarm Hosts are interesting, but yeah, it's just there. I'm not a fan of the Swarm Hosts. I am not a fan at all. But we will see. These guys are just sort of trucking around there, having a bit of fun, trying to range themselves against this third base. And you got to admit, it's a good idea because it's out. It's not. It's definitely they can hit it from all sorts of locations. A Revival definitely has his sights set on this third base. We got Roaches coming in from the back. He's going to send Locusts in at the front. And yeah, those Locusts going to come in. He's going to have to own them. And here we go. The Roaches coming up the backside. So beautiful play by Revival. Moving out, going to be defending against the next set of Locusts. And meanwhile, the Roaches coming in. They are attacking the Assimilator. What a retarded idea that was. Because needs better control. Needs to be attacking actual units. And here we go, the Locusts coming in, again, starting to destroy units. Stalkers starting to take them out, but these Colossus, the Colossus are on their way. And yeah, gotta say, those Roaches, man, for all that they've got a great strategic plan, they are not attacking any sort of good units at the moment, man. Although it's not really making a difference because Alicia is just so flummoxed by all of these Locusts coming in. It's just such a hard thing to counter. We got a flank on the side. Alicia pulls back. Is the right move to pull back, but what's that going to mean for his third base? I just do not know. It's so bad, although Revival might have pushed it a little bit too far there, losing so many Stalkers. The Locusts are still doing a good job, but Roaches, man, just getting out of position. Now the first Colossus is out on the field. DTs, I think the DTs are actually destroying a swarm host there. That is a good use right there. Let's have a look at units lost. 10, is that 10 swarm hosts that were destroyed right there by the Dark Templars? Revival, revival, revival. What can I say? Alright, we got to go back. I'm just going to go back right now. I'm going to go look at it. We just got to look at the DTs taking those guys out because that was... I'm sorry. I know we're in a sort of zone in the game, seeing what happens, but it's not going to go back too far, okay? We just want to see what the DTs do here. So speed it up a little bit. Almost there. And look at this. Revival just... Oh my god, Revival. You just... This is just brutal right here. And the fact that he did not realize this was happening is just... Man, oh man, oh man. So Alicia coming around and just destroying all of those swarm hosts. Phenomenal, just absolutely phenomenal play from Alicia there. And the fact that Revival did not see any of that was absolutely insane. I mean, he just didn't see. He could have lifted the swarm hosts up, he could have moved them away, he could have sent the roaches back to take out the DTs, but he just didn't realize what was going on, and that was a significant loss. So Revival not doing any serious damage to the third base, not taking out a lot of workers. He's taken out 11, but it's not a huge amount compared to, he's lost 12 already. So income wise, 65 against 65. Alicia in a fantastic position. Army wise is kind of even, but he's got a lot of Colossus, he's got a lot of Immortals and stuff like that. Whereas Revival is mostly just roaches. He's starting to get some Corruptors out now, which is great. Which means he's going to be able to own those Colossus quite nicely. And the Immortal numbers aren't actually that high. So they're okay. It's mainly going to be Colossus pumping out right now. Alicia getting level 3 as well. We do have Colossus range. That's very nice. So, yeah. The Corruptors, though, it's going to be interesting. Zealots coming in. The Roaches do see them, but here we go. The main army coming in the other side. Oh, this base is going to get owned. Not too many guys there, but this base is going to go down so fast it's not even funny. And there we go. Miscellaneous Roaches coming back. Revival is just going to get completely owned here. Alicia's got to be worried, though. A little bit worried because he's only got a limited amount of time to mess around here. Not quite able to take this base out. The Corruptors coming in full blown right there, attacking the Mothership core before they attack the Colossus. But they're still going to be able to own the Colossus, and Revival coming around in a major way here. Stop messing around with the Swarm Host. He's got a fairly simple unit composition, Corruptors and Roaches. And he's putting it into a very, very good use right there. So really turning this game around, doing a great job. And now he's starting to look very, very strong in that game, man. He just lost like two Colossus to that amazing attack from Revival. Well, the amazing thing about it wasn't even that amazing. He just sort of swept in and just owned it. He just had the counters for everything, and Alicia just got owned. Colossus just got owned, hung around there a little bit too much, and I mean, the forces just came around and just absolutely wiped out everything. So, very unfortunate. Alicia got to continue to build Colossus, but I do not know. I think Revival has the Colossus number right here. I mean, he's got the Corruptors. He's going to send the Corruptors out. He's going to own everything right there. And even some Roach Burrow Micro just to make things interesting right there. We've got the claws as well, so the Roaches can move underground, which is very, very nice. Here we go, the main army coming out. Some Swarm Hosts. We're a little bit of lag there, actually. I think it was in the game, not in my replay, or in the replay, not in my game. Whichever one you want to look at. But here we go, moving back, sending the Swarm Hosts out. Ton of guys coming in here. Corruptors are going to own that War Prism. The Roaches are going to own the Zealots. So, I mean, Revival is doing a great job at the moment. Oh, it's so close. It's so very, very, very close. Queen needs to heal that guy up a little bit, but I don't know if Queens can actually... Queens can heal buildings, but that is going to take just forever for that thing to get back up again. Here we go, though. 5 Colossus. So he's got a definite ton of units out here. Getting a ton. He's got Stalkers. He's got Blink. He knows what he's facing right now. He knows that he is facing a ton of Corruptors. If he can get out the Blink in the right scenario and actually start wiping out the Corruptors early on, then he can definitely win this. But there we go. The Stalkers blink it out to the side. hitting the Corruptors nice and fast. Needs to get more micro on the Corruptors to actually start hitting him. He's doing a good job. The Corruptors moving to the other side. The Stalkers need to move around. There they go. They're moving in there. The Colossus absolutely owning all of the roaches, and that is exactly what Alicia needed to do. Now, the Locusts are still a bit of a threat, and he still needs to re-macro his Colossus numbers, but his income is so good, 72 over 64. Look at how much he's banked up. Is absolutely sensational. Building more Colossus, that's exactly what he needs to do. He needs to chrono boost them as well, because I mean, he definitely needs to get them out fast. Really, was he warping here? Is that movement speed of observers? He's obviously got so much money, he can just do whatever the hell he needs to do. And there we go, blowing stuff off. He's basically, I mean, I don't know, actually, because Revival's got a ton of units. He's got a ton of Swarm Hosts, Corruptors, Roaches, building a ton of stuff, getting the Great Aspire out as well. And the Swarm Hosts have come back, and they are still going to be a pain in the ass for this army right here. Moving the Roaches out, and yeah, Alicia can turn this around, but by the time he turns it around, he's got to be facing with Locusts, and his Colossus numbers still not quite enough to be dealing with this many Locusts. Really needs like 5 or 6 at the least. You can see the Locusts are still getting hits off. Ideally, you want the Locusts to not get any hits off at all, because they're basically free hits. They don't cost anything. And with level 3 weapons coming out, those hits are just going to be so much more painful for Alicia to start taking. So here we go, moving in, trying to get some nice plays going. He's doing his good thing again. The Stalkers need to be focusing a bit more on the Corruptors. They're not focusing. They're hitting the Roaches. They're not hitting the Corruptors. The Corruptors going nuts here and actually taking out all the Colossus. But the Stalkers are all left alive. So this is going to be tough here though. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, he's still building more Colossus, so still needs to deal with these Corruptors. And here we go. Does he have vision? He doesn't have vision. So the Locust is going to be doing so much damage, and Alicia needs to run for it right here. Needs to run for it. He's been dealing with the Locust for too long. It needs to be able to take him out. Zealot's coming in here. We do have Zealot legs. Yes, we do. So that's going to be nice play right there. A Revival is playing a very, very smart game here. He's playing near the Swarm Host. Here we go. Vision. He does have vision, and now the Swarm Hosts are going to get destroyed. So Revival, he was hoping for a little bit more laid-back play, hoping for a bit more time. Alicia did not give him any time. He moved in, he destroyed all the Swarm Hosts. He kept on ball, and he sent his Zealots in here as well, took out the base. Beautiful, beautiful plays by Alicia. And now that the Swarm Hosts are dead for the second time, he's going to try and play things his way. But he did see the Broodlords there. Needs to get some Broodlord, anti-Broodlord play on the way, sorry. Because he does have a ton of Blink Stalkers though, and that could help him. That could be very, very nice, but yeah, the Colossus numbers, needs to keep those up, needs to keep those in a good position. Here we go, Colossus doing a great job. The Stalkers, are they going to blink underneath the Broodlords? Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen right here? The Stalkers out here destroying workers, and what do we income-wise? He's 20 under, and obviously he just didn't feel like he had enough to go off against Alicia anymore. He's down. He lost this base. He was about to lose this base potentially. I think he probably could have saved it, but he was losing quite a lot of workers anyway. So Revival potentially could have kept going, but in the end just said GG. He was definitely on a deficit right there. Definitely chose to just leave it there, and Alicia took it out. So great play right there. And that's the thing with Swarm Host. You cannot let them just sit back. So he took a beating out here. He came back in like literally 30 seconds later with a bunch of Stalkers, blinked in, hit the Swarm Host, and Revival wasn't defending them. So that's what you got to do. You got to be hard and fast with Swarm Hosts. You cannot be laid back and play the attrition game, because Swarm Hosts are born to play the attrition game. You got to do lightning fast attacks, and that's exactly what we saw from Alicia here. Just boom, really fast, really hard, owned the Swarm Host right there, and Revival just didn't defend him. And that's the thing, you got to defend the Swarm Host. You can't just leave them out there and hope they'll be okay, because a lightning attack like the one we saw from Alicia will own them extremely fast. So there we go, game done. Congratulations to Alicia for handling Swarm Hosts very, very well in this game. And yeah, I thought, I mean, just basically good standard play against a Roach Corruptor. it just worked so well. And I thought maybe Hydras could have helped a little bit in that battle. But then again, he was always struggling to get the Colossus down, so it would have been a bit of a pain for those Hydras anyway. Anyway, job done. Good game to Alicia, and thank you very much for watching. I will catch you guys tomorrow for another one. Stay tuned.